We are already 4 days into 2022, the new year, and already my cat has vomited across my entire house. My girlfriend spilled juice all over her favorite shirt, and we were preparing the finest food you'll ever eat in a glass bowl and dropped it to the floor. Here are my 5 most anticipated books of 2022. Hi there fellow roleplayers and game masters, my name is Mr. Tarask and this is your go-to YouTube channel for everything third-party Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition related, and I review this stuff, I preview a lot of stuff, and today I want to talk about my 5 most anticipated books of 2022, because I'm always sitting here reviewing a ton of books that have already been released, but there's always a ton of books that I'm looking really forward to get my hands on and to read and to sit on my sofa and have a cup of coffee and do that. What I want to talk about first is Loresmyth. It is a company that I haven't talked about for quite a while on my channel because, well, they haven't released a ton in the last few years due to COVID, paper costs increasing, a lot of delays with their Kickstarters. Anyway, they are the creators behind Remarkable Shops and their wares, and the first book, Remarkable Inns and Their Drinks. And they're now working on the third book. We're working on releasing the third book in the series called Remarkable Cults and Their Followers. Now, they're also already planning to kickstart, I think in March, the 4th book in the series, which is Remarkable Guilds and Their Deeds. So this is going to be a complete series, and I've reviewed Remarkable Inns on my channel quite early on my channel, to be completely honest. It's of course a really awkward review and everything, but there is a review of this on my channel, there is a review of this on my channel, and I really love these books. Loresmyth is, by the way, it's a Dutch company, it's a Dutch person, works really closely with JVC Perry for a lot of stuff, and he lives really close to me. I'm from Belgium, but I live really close to the border, and he's from Holland, and he lives really close to the border, so we don't live that far apart from each other, but I really like what he does. These series of books are actually just books that are system neutral, so you can use them for any tabletop RPG system, but for me they are precisely what I need them to be for 5th edition, and they are Remarkable Inns, for example, is a book full of remarkable inns, first of all. Then there is some sort of system you can use in order to create your own remarkable inns, and these systems are really good, and I'm actually planning on using these systems on my channel and actually teaching people how to use it and what we can create with these systems that are in these books. It's the same with Remarkable Shops and Their Wares. Of course, there are a few remarkable shops in here with some remarkable wares like magic items and all that stuff, and there is a system in here to create your own memorable remarkable shops, and they're going to do the same with Remarkable Cults and Their Followers, and that is why I'm looking really forward to it, because the first 2 books were brick and mortar type things like inns and stores, and by the way, in the inns they say and their drinks, so there's also like magical food and magical drinks, and it's really good and really well done. And Remarkable Cults and Their Followers is one of those books that I just want to see how Loresmyth handles, actually how they handle like something that's not particularly brick and mortar, like a cult and their followers. So creating your own cults, there's probably going to be cults in there in the book, and everything is written in such a system neutral way that you can just pick an inn from this book and drop it in your game. The same thing with the shops, and I expect the same thing is going to happen with the cults. And if you are interested in the 4th book, make sure to click the link in the description below to their Kickstarter, because they're going to have a 4th book called Remarkable Guilds and Their Deeds. So cults, guilds, shops, inns. By the way, you can get both of these for a very good price on their website. I'm not affiliated with them, but you can get them for quite a good price on their website, so make sure to check that out. I'm really looking forward to this one, and if you want to know more about Loresmyth, know more about their Kickstarter, click the link in the description below. Before we go on, I want to talk about my sponsor. First of all, Shard Tabletop. Thank you so much for bringing my channel to life and actually sponsoring me. Shard Tabletop is, to my opinion, truly the best virtual tabletop. It is simple yet effective. You can get into it in a matter of minutes and it doesn't get in your way. You can just sit down and play. Make sure to click the link in the description below. Make an account with them. Use it for free as much as you want. And if you want to buy a subscription with them, giving you a ton of new extras and a ton of new abilities, you can do that by clicking the link in the description below and getting 20% discount on your subscription. I can give you 20% discount because they are endorsing my channel, and I'm so super grateful for them doing that. So please check that out. The second book, or should I say books, I want to talk about are these two: the Monster Manual Expanded and the Monster Manual Expanded #2. You're probably thinking, but Mr. T, you're holding them in your hands. They are already released, and you are absolutely right. But I've been talking about this on my channel quite a few times now. This is the Monster Manual 3, and it is ridiculously good. If you ask me to buy a new monster book, this one will be among the books I will suggest to you because it's so good. The printing quality is great. The artwork is amazing. The cover, look at this, is just ridiculous, and I've talked about this on my channel. And since it was a major success, the creator Dragonix has decided to completely revamp these. He's going to completely fill them with new artwork, new cover, probably better printing quality, I don't know. And I've seen a ton of screenshots on his Twitter, on his Facebook. You can click the links in the description below if you want, and it's going to look so amazing, and I cannot wait to pick up those two in order to complete my collection even further, because technically I already have the entire collection, but I just want the entire new-ish collection because I am addicted to collecting third-party stuff, and I just want to complete this collection. So if you want to pick up a new monster book, make sure to pick up this one for sure, and just sit back, relax, and wait for the new versions of these two to come out. The next one lies really close to my heart because it is Isle of the Dreaded Accursed by Mr. Tarosk and JVC Perry. Yes, yours truly and one of the, if not the best writers in the scene right now, have bonded together to create an Tier 2 adventure. We've done a Kickstarter back in June of last year, which was very successful, and we started writing the adventure, and it is now actually pretty much done. It is in the editing and layout phase, and we're waiting for artwork to come in, and we have to make a book out of it and all of that stuff, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. If you do not know what it is, it's going to be a Tier 2 adventure, which is going to have a dungeon crawl, sea exploration. It will have a lot of role-playing, light-hearted role-playing in a town. It will have all the pillars of D&D in a Tier 2 adventure with a lot of undead, a lot of puzzle solving, a lot of treacherous traps, and all that stuff, all in one really epic adventure. And I cannot wait to get my creative child to your doorstep. If you haven't backed it back then on Kickstarter and you still want to support us, or you want to pre-order it, make sure to click the link in the description below because you can still pre-order it. We have the adventure, both digital and physical. We have dice, we have a dungeon master screen, player handouts, all that stuff. Make sure to click the link in the description below and see if it's for you. Also, if you want to see me continue through this year to talk about third-party stuff, to talk about amazing books in the world of 5th edition, and you want the hobby to grow, you want third-party content to grow even more, and you want people to know about that content, hit the subscribe button. It is a really, really powerful tool to help spread the word about our hobby. What is a top 5 list of most anticipated books of 2022 without involving Kobold Press? Kobold Press does Kickstarter after Kickstarter after Kickstarter, and they create amazing book after amazing book after amazing book. And Tome of Heroes is another one of those that I'm looking really, really much forward to. They have already the Midgard Heroes Handbook, and they have the Southlands Heroes books with all the races, the classes, the feats, and everything. They have a bunch of books with a bunch of different combinations of classes and races and feats you can use in your Midgard game or in your own setting if you want. But now they're binding all of that together and adding more content to it by creating Tome of Heroes. There's actually not much more to say about that. Tome of Heroes is going to be a book with player options that I really want, and all I can say about is give it to me now. Last week I did a video on my channel where I talked about my 5 favorite books of last year, and for 2 of the categories I nominated Odyssey of the Dragon Lords, but it actually never won one of the categories. But that is not because I don't like it. It's just that there is a lot of competition out there in the third-party D&D scene. Odyssey of the Dragon Lords is really an amazing book. It is one of the best books I have still. It is really, really cool. The cover is amazing. It is thick, and it is an entire campaign setting and campaign and player options and Dungeon Master tools, and everything you need for 5th edition based on Greek mythology. The story behind this thing is so deep, it is so rich, the world is built amazing, and they are actually doing a follow-up. Well, it's actually more of a standalone than a follow-up, but it's kind of the same design that goes into it, and it's called Raiders of the Serpent Sea. They have a Kickstarter, there is a Kickstarter page, you can click the link in the description below, and they're going to create it, and it's going to probably, they pledged $283,000 Canadian dollars, so it's probably going to work out for them. And it's basically the same design idea, but then it is set into more of a Viking type world, so it's in the cold and bitter north, and it is probably going to have this entire new north setting with Viking-esque type stuff going on. It's going to have player options for that, it's going to have dungeon master tools for that, and it's probably again going to have a crazy good story, because if you're looking for an entire campaign to play from the beginning till the end and you only need one book for it, this is the one, and I think the next one is going to be amazing yet again. So that was a quick video about the 5 anticipated books of 2022. I know I talked about them very briefly, but that is because I don't have really more information about them until I hold them in my hands, because I'm just sitting here waiting for them as much as you are. If there's one of these books that piqued your interest, make sure to click the links in the description below, and until next time, bye bye.